Welcome to Immigration Insider with your host, attorney John Nicelli. This podcast is an educational forum on how to deal with complex aspects of immigration and pitfalls to avoid. You can find this show on all the major platforms, including YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on our website, johnnicelli.com. Now here's the host of Immigration Insider, attorney John Nicelli.
Hello there, President Trump. My name is John Nicelli. I'm an immigration lawyer in New York City and have been an immigration lawyer for over 43 years. And I would like to tell you a few things today. And most importantly is, do you truly believe in helping America and wanting America to be the greatest place on earth? If you do, Mr. Trump, then I think things are definitely on the wrong path. I don't know who you're getting your advice from, but from what I see, it's coming from the wrong people, or from the wrong direction. And I say that for many reasons. You ran on the premise that you were going to arrest or have arrested all the illegals, criminals in the United States. Everybody agreed with that. No one wants criminals walking around the United States, mugging people, killing people, and doing all kinds of crazy things and horrendous things. We all know that, and nobody wants that. But what's happening today is you are arresting some criminals, but the overwhelming majority of people that are being arrested by ICE today are innocent people whose only mistake and only violation of law was to remain in this country unlawfully. And the only reason why they came here, because they were looking for a better life. No other reason. Overwhelming majority. Yes, criminals did come. Yes, the Biden administration made the biggest mistake under the sun by letting so many people in with the open border policy they had. I agree with you, that's 1,000% wrong. But there's a way of fixing it, and there's a way of fixing it very easily. And the first thing you have to do is stop the mass deportations and stop listening to Stephen Miller and others who are thriving on people being arrested and people being detained and people being removed from their families, from their jobs. What's happening is a disgrace to the United States of America and to the world. The Statue of Liberty is sitting in New York Harbor. And if you remember, the reason why we have a Statue of Liberty is to welcome immigrants from throughout the world. And the United States has now become a country of unwelcoming immigrants from throughout the world. Too many people have been hurt. Too many families are being destroyed. Too many children have been separated from their parents. Too many businesses have been destroyed. American citizens are losing their jobs. Do you know why, Mr. Trump? Because the person who owns that business was a person who was illegally here and worked their tail off to build a business, and many big businesses. I have a few clients. They have very big businesses, and their only problem is they're still illegally here, unfortunately. But they employ American citizens. So if you arrest them and you deport them, what happens? The American citizens are the ones losing their jobs. Our tax base is going down because so many people are losing their jobs. This is not the way America should be working today. We have farmers complaining because they don't have farm workers to pick crops. Everyone knows that many illegals work on farms because no one else wants to do the work. Do you think your children would work on a farm in 100-degree sunny hot weather and humidity, or after a rainstorm in the mud, when the snakes come out and the bugs come out and anything, all kinds of germs and bacteria and everything in those fields? No, it's the illegal aliens who do that work. You know why? Because no one else will do it. And what's going to happen and has happened in the past. If you go back to the Reagan administration, when they did many similar type of arrest, crops are rotting in the fields. So what's going to happen, Mr. Trump? We're repeating bad history. So do you think you're going to be able to have your McDonald's if there's no tomatoes and lettuce to put on the McDonald's sandwich? Think of it. Or are we going to import lettuce and tomatoes with high tariffs? So it'll be, instead of being a few dollars, maybe a hamburger costs $20, $25, or $30. Think of it. This is what's going on. This is the long-term effect of what is happening. You have Kristi Noem, very intelligent person, very intelligent. I have no issue with her intelligence. The problem is that she's wasting millions of dollars going nationwide on ICE raids, going everywhere, making all these videos. I don't understand. Why can't she just sit in Washington, make all the videos she wants all day long? We have the latest technology in the world. She doesn't have to go to an ICE raid in some remote part of the country, or in any city for that matter, fly there at taxpayer expense, and then do photo ops and fly back. Why do we have to do that? When we have electronic monitoring, things can be filmed and sent to her at the same, or within seconds of it happening. Why does she have to be there? We are wasting thousands a day and millions a year with this going on. It doesn't make sense. How much is it costing in the fuel alone to fuel those planes that are carrying her all over the country? Does this make any sense? To me, it doesn't make any sense. We're transporting people that you've arrested or had arrested, and all these people, you're transporting them throughout the country. People get detained in New York City, for example. They send them to Texas, to Louisiana, to California, all over the nation, to other places where they have no contacts. And why are you doing that? There's one reason why you're doing that. You want them away from their families. You want them away from their lawyers. You want them away from their similar surroundings, to make it harsher for them. So people will say, I don't want to sit in jail. I want to go. Send me back to where I'm from. I'm not sitting in jail. I don't care. Decent people. Their only violation is they're violating the immigration law by overstaying their visas. That, or maybe they entered illegally. They have no other violation. They're not criminals. These are family people raising children, American children, who they pay for their college tuitions, and they pay for everything for their children so their children can have a better life. That's their dream. That's why they left their country, so they can have a better life and their children can have a better life and a better future. Recently, I was in Palm Beach Airport, your hometown. Every monitor in the airport, every monitor I saw had Kristi Noem tape telling people, if you leave, you have to leave this country. And if you don't leave and we find you, you are never coming back. That's a disgrace. I was in the airport, I don't know how many hours, because my plane was delayed. And the monitor was repeating itself over and over and over again. I don't want to see Kristi Noem. I want to see the news in the airport or a movie. This is ridiculous. And telling people lies. You are never coming back. Well, Mr. Trump, in some cases, maybe people won't come back. But in most cases, they probably will come back, especially if they have families here, whether they come back legally or illegally. I don't hear you advertising any statistics about people coming back. I only hear about the amount of people that you're sending out. But no one's counting how many are coming back. And I guarantee you there's plenty coming back. And let me tell you another thing, which maybe you're not aware of. Did you know, Mr. Trump, that the Border Patrol has a tunnel unit? And you know what that tunnel unit does? They look for tunnels every day, that go clear across the border. And over the years, many tunnels have been found in Texas, in California, Arizona, wherever. Wherever there's a border, you can probably find a tunnel. And their job is to locate these tunnels and destroy them. They seal them, sometimes they explode them, then do whatever. So I don't have a problem with that. But the problem is people are coming back in all different ways, either through the ocean, especially the Chinese that come by the boatload through the ocean. Of course, nobody says anything about that. Or if they come through tunnels, which are existent, I'm sure even right now as I speak, drugs come through tunnels, people come through tunnels. Tunnels are there. So there are means of getting back to this country. And if you try hard enough, eventually you'll succeed. I've had clients that have used American birth certificates to cross the border, fake passports. There's a zillion ways to come in. Now, the bottom line is you will never, ever, ever, ever stop illegal immigration. The United States was a welcoming country and hopefully will be in the future, and people will always want to come here. I understand you want them to come legally. I agree with that. That's not a problem. But to do that, you have to revamp the visa system and really revamp it and have consultations with people like myself, immigration judges, immigration prosecutors, ICE people, and you put everybody in the same room and you get opinions as to how can we fix this mess that we have? Because it is a mess. And you know why it's a mess? Because Congress makes the laws about immigration. They pass laws for their political reasons, having no clue what's involved of how it works. And that affects everybody, whether it's the lawyers, whether it's the judges, whether it's the prosecutors, whether it's the ICE people, people that detain people. It's unbelievable. The bureaucracy is incredible, and it could be fixed, and it could be easily fixed. But the problem is too many people are not interested in fixing it and get their jollies out of people getting arrested and getting detained and all kinds of things happening to them when they are detained. It's really, really, really an outrage. But Mr. Trump, let me tell you something. There's things that you can do quite easily. We have a law called Section 249 of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Many people never heard of Section 249. Do you know why? Because that law states that if you've been in the United States since January 1, 1972, all you have to do is turn yourself into immigration and file adjustment of status. 1972. That's kind of antiquated now. So that same law, the exact same law that's on the books, and it's been on the books for years, could be changed. Just change the date. Make the date January 1, 2022. Only for people who came before January 1, 22. Now, what will that do, Mr. Trump? Let's think about it. Millions of people would be eligible to file for adjustment. Obviously, they can't have criminal records. They have to pay a fine. They'll pay a fee, whatever the fee is, and you can even assess a fine to have them pay a fine. You'll make trillions of dollars, trillions for the United States economy. When people are legalized, what do? They buy a house, they buy a car, they take trips, they buy insurance, they start businesses. Trillions of dollars will be put into the U.S. economy if you would legalize people that are here instead of spending billions every day trying to arrest them and detain them and send them throughout the world. It's ridiculous. Using military transports to transport a handful of people. How much fuel is that wasting? How much is it costing us to transport people around the world? It doesn't make any sense when you can be legalizing these people and having them contribute to America and solve the problem of illegal aliens coming illegally. Because with the monies that you will make, the trillions, we could help other countries to help themselves so people don't want to leave their country and be happy to stay in their country. Think about years ago, okay? You're my age. Actually, I'm a little younger than you. But let's think about what happened before we were born. In World War II, Europe was destroyed. What happened? The United States rebuilt Europe. Are the Europeans coming here today? No, The mass of Europeans are not coming here today. Why? Because there's nothing wrong with living in Europe. In some cases, it might be even better than living in the United States. The Americans flock to Europe because they love it, the culture, the history, everything that's there. And it's the United States that rebuilt it. And with the monies we make from legalizing people, trillions upon trillions of dollars, we can help other countries to help themselves, to help people in those countries and give them a reason to stay in those countries. Develop the industries there. There's plenty of places in the world that we can become trading partners with. 3/4 of Central and South America probably could be future trading partners. But no one does this. I don't understand it. And this can help everybody. There's another law that we had on the books. It's called Section 245I. Section 245I, you had to be in the United States before December, you had to be in the United States on December 20th of the year 2000, and you had to file a case before April 30th, 2001. And when I mean file a case, you either file through a family member or through employment-based case where an employer would sponsor somebody. Okay, change the date from April 30th, 2001, and make that date 2023, 2022, April 2022, for example, April 1, 2022, or 23, or 24, whatever date. Okay, as long as there's a date closer to where we are now. Millions of people will be able to adjust status because they get sponsored through a job. It's not a giveaway. They have to work. They have to be sponsored. And after they're sponsored, they pay a fine. The fine was $1,000. Raise the fine to $3,000, plus the filing fees, all the filing fees. The average adjustment of status fee now is over $3,000. If you pay a fine in addition to that, make it $5,000, $6,000, whatever it is, you're going to make trillions of dollars for the U.S. economy. But the registry case would make even better sense. And if you do Section 249, as I was saying earlier, when people file for adjustment of status, you will no longer need all the asylum offices in the United States. Many of those offices that exist who are paying high rents could be closed or used for other purposes. If people are filing adjustment of status, they're not going to file asylum. If they don't file asylum, they don't have to go see an immigration judge. So that's going to reduce the amount of cases in immigration court. Probably 3/4 of the cases in immigration court that file for asylum could be eligible to file for adjustment of status if you would change the law for Section 249 and just change the date. That would reduce the backlog of the cases in the court. Instead of having millions of cases, and there's a 3, 4, 5-year backlog in some jurisdictions, it would reduce the backlog. Years ago, I used to go to court, and within 3 months, you'd have a final hearing with a judge. Now I go to court, and my final hearing may be 2028, 2029. Okay? It's ridiculous. Really ridiculous. And this all could be avoided and eliminate all this asylum process. Probably 3/4 of the asylum cases are really not bona fide cases because things change. The laws have changed. Maybe they had a good reason to leave when they left. They have a true fear, but maybe it's a general fear. So as a general fear of returning to their country because of the conditions there, they don't meet the criteria to be granted asylum because they don't have a particular fear of persecution. All of that could be avoided because people would never file for asylum if they're going to get legalized by filing adjustment of status through Section 249 of the Immigration and Nationality Act if Congress would change the date. That's all that has to be done. It's that simple. It would reduce the amount of people going to arrest people because you don't need to arrest innocent people. You can concentrate on the criminals who deserve to be arrested. That's what the premise you ran on. And that's the people we don't want in this country. We need hardworking, innocent family people with no criminal histories. We need them to work in the factories, on the farms, as construction workers, as high-skilled workers, and even low-skilled workers. We need workers in the United States. Most of the jobs that immigrants do, American citizens do not want to do. Most kids that grew up, and I'm sure you're a younger child, they like to play with the They're young. They want to play with their computers, with their telephones, with their video games. They're not interested in working on a farm to pick tomatoes in the hot sun or strawberries or anything else for that matter. That involves very hard work. Most Americans don't want to do that hard work if they can find an easier way to work. And that's the reality that we face. And that's the reason why things must be changed. So, Mr. Trump, if you love America, as you constantly say, I love America, I want the best for America, then stop deporting these people, stop arresting them, stop transporting them out of the country, and do something about it. That's what you need to do. And you need to do it today, not tomorrow. And stop listening to people who are giving you the wrong information, because you are hurting America. And I honestly believe that that's the last thing that you want to do. So remember what I'm saying, and I hope to God you are listening. Thank you.
You've been tuning into Immigration Insider with your host, attorney John Nicelli. You can find this show on all the major platforms, including YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on our website, johnnicelli.com. Thank you for your positive reviews, comments, questions, and for sharing this show with others.